match coming your way. The male final is right around the corner. We've got to see Uruguay and Ecuador compete here at Toyota Park.
Prepárate para recibir lo mejor de tus deportes favoritos, alertas y resultados en vivo, todo a tu alcance. Descarga ya la nueva app de ESPN.
What is my dream?
I know that you was wrong, but life is moving on, and the anger that you feel keeps you feeling justified, but turning a blind eye to the one who you survived.
If you could do anything in this world, what would you do? And how many people actually ask you that?
Special Olympics celebrating its 50th anniversary this week in the greater Chicago area. We're coming to you from Bridgeview, Illinois, Toyota Park, where we're getting ready for Special Olympics Unified Cup Male First Division Final. Gonna get a CONMEBOL showdown. South American classics, Uruguay and Ecuador, getting ready to face off in this championship match at the home of the Chicago Fire, just outside Chicago. Kate Markgraf, Sebastian Salazar, along with you. And we expect, for as much as we talk about sportsmanship when we talk about Special Olympics, we expect this final, Kate, to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Combative, physical, charged. This is a rivalry.
Intense number of cards thrown out this morning from both semifinal matches, as both teams and their opponents that are not playing in this going for the victory. There is no other competition like this that sets the United aspect of this apart from anything else. This is a moment that they're going to remember forever, and they want to be the victors on the other side of it.
We just saw the female final between Slovakia and Brazil. Some different rules in that one, some different rules for this match as well. It will be 11 on 11, full field here at Toyota Park. We'll play two 30-minute halves. There are only 5 subs allowed and no re-entry for a player once they have been subbed out. Each player must play at least 20 minutes in the semifinal and the final. And just like in the women's final, if we are tied at regulation, we go straight to penalty kicks. That's exactly what happened for both of these teams in their respective semifinals. Uruguay edging the United Arab Emirates in penalties, while Ecuador beat Nigeria, despite the fact that Nigeria had a penalty to win the match and advance. Credit to this Ecuadorian team for never losing their cool, and as a result, they have made it to the final. And I tell you what, they have got some fans here behind them. Not necessarily folks that have traveled from Ecuador, but part of this Ecuadorian community in the greater Chicago area. Apparently, the Ecuadorian consulate put out a notice to everybody from Ecuador in this area. The community has responded. They've been at the game so far in this tournament, banging drums, waving flags, and the guys on the field, Kate, we know, have felt and loved that support.
Yeah, it's been socially, culturally, emotionally a very positive experience for all involved. And if you are cheering for Ecuador, you're going to be relying on Landazuri up top. The striker, incredibly fast and likes to sit on the back shoulders of the center backs, trying to find and exploit the seams between them and in behind.
Luis Ortiz, the number 4 for Ecuador. He'll send it back across the defensive line for Ecuador. They're wearing white shorts, blue top, headed left to right on your screen. Uruguay in the white top, black shorts, black socks, and we told you this game would be physical, didn't have to wait long to see it.
Yeah, Bacedone laying out, doesn't even get the ball. It has been raining off and on for the past 2 hours. The pitch is extremely slippery, mistimes his tackle, and takes down the speedy Renanza. on the flank.
If you've ever watched Uruguay play, you know about that garra charrua, right? That toughness, that bite. And I tell you what, these players have it as well. It's a cultural thing. They take a page right out of the playbook of the Uruguayan national team.
A long ball right in front of him, trying to get a little bit of a touch. 2 feet. The fact that that top leg is raised up. Macedona is lucky not to get a card. You get to see the sportsmanship and the spirit of the games right there.
And that's a nice thing. We know this is a rivalry, but whenever there is that big collision, you always see the players reach for a hand. And you don't see that in most other competition. We're getting the elite level play. We're not getting some of the other theatrics, which I think is great.
Right, we also get a recognition of where the game is at. We saw both teams, when they had games won in preliminary play easily, defenders were passing it to the opponent's forwards, giving them breakaways to at least get on the scoreboard.
We saw Ecuador towards the tail end of an 11-1 victory over Germany. They were, the Ecuadorian defenders, desperately trying to get the German forward a goal. They finally passed it, got him in on a breakaway, and he went in and scored. A really cool moment, something that I think summarizes quite well why we're all here. Thumping clearance there from the Uruguayan defense. They'll bring it down in midfield to one of their playmakers, Alejandro Matos, the number 7. He and number 10, Aníbal Silva, really run the middle of the park for Uruguay. And there it is. We didn't have to wait long. Just under 3 minutes in, we've got a yellow card.
This is on Fernandez using his body to shield. And it's that last-minute kick right there. He'd lost the ball. No chance when he extends his left hand leg to get this ball. He doesn't want to give up possession in that area. And Casco down on the ground for Ecuador. Someone that was so vital in their semifinal game. The playmaker in the middle, the one that's that box-to-box midfielder connecting the lines from defense to the attack. And the one during PKs that was cheering on his teammates when they missed one or if the goalkeeper stopped it.
This Ecuadorian team has gotten quite a bit of help, we're told, from the Ecuadorian Football Federation, including some snazzy new suits, which we saw the athletes donning in some pictures, some great warm-up gear. I mean, the official gear that you would see the Ecuadorian national team in, these players are getting to use it. And on the Uruguayan side, they've also received plenty of help. I'm told that Special Olympics in Uruguay is a really big deal. They get a lot of financial help from the government, both state, kind of local, and national as well. This game means a lot to the people back home. Set piece coming for Ecuador. Ball driven into the Uruguayan wall. Brian Valdivieso, the number 5 for Ecuador, will gather and spring it out wide to the left. Jefferson Ferrananza. The cross, well-driven ball. It'll skip out to Luis Ortiz. He's got some time, whips in a service to the back post. The Uruguayans defending with everything. Shot potentially here. Brian Barcelo instead lays it off, and the ball blocked. Out of bounds for a throw-in. Will actually be last touched by Ecuador. Ball goes to Uruguay. Five minutes into the male First Division final. Special Olympics Unified Cup 2018. First ever. Special Olympics celebrating its 50th anniversary. Got a player on the ground. We talk about the evolution of this amazing organization. The next 50 years, some folks in Special Olympics were kind of explaining to us, Kate, it will evolve from an organization for those with intellectual disabilities into an organization from those with intellectual disabilities, meaning the hope is that those with intellectual disabilities will become their own advocates.
Yeah, those with ID, this whole unified concept, it's a microcosm of the entire Special Olympics message, which is inclusion, equal playing fields, and creating a sense of belonging for the athletes and building understanding and acceptance from the partners.
Ecuador losing the ball in midfield. Uruguay's Nicolás Fernandez in the number 5, hauled down just on the other side of the midfield stripe. Opportunity here for a set piece, maybe launch one into the box. One of the first games we saw at this tournament was the group phase finale between Uruguay and France. I want to say rematch of the World Cup semifinal we saw a couple weeks ago. I can tell you after that game, the Uruguayan players were very happy, and I don't think it just had to do with being undefeated in the group phase. I think they felt like they got a little measure of revenge. 7 minutes in to the final between Uruguay and Ecuador. Snap header there, and great reaction from the Ecuadorian goalie. We saw him be the hero in the semifinal penalty shootout. Lenin Uska with a big stop. Ecuador really committed to building out of the back there. You see Uska made a couple key stops in that penalty shootout over Nigeria just 6-7 hours ago. And some big saves in the match as well. I tell you, that Nigerian team was very, very good, and they were putting on a lot of pressure. Here it comes from Ecuador, shot wide of the post. Back and forth stuff here at Toyota Park. This is the chance just moments ago from Uruguay.
Well, off the set piece, you get to see Guspe coming up for it. Misses it. Basadone, the one that was involved in that tackle defensively, the right center back, able to get in behind the defender. And Uska able to calm, bring it down, and then go the exact opposite way.
Ecuador setting a high pressure. Uruguay able to work out of it for now with a long ball over the top. Ball still in bounds. The Ecuadorian player looking for a foul call, didn't get it. Now it'll be a corner kick for Uruguay in their semi-final match this morning against United Arab Emirates. They scored from a corner kick. The man that did the damage on that occasion, the Uruguayan center back, Sergio Martinez. He's wearing the number 2. Keep an eye on him, as well as the other center back, number 3, Oscar Basadone. Alejandro Matos standing over the ball, set to serve it in with his left foot. Ball drilled to the penalty spot. Big collision on the near sideline. Referee letting him play so far. Brian Cruz, the number 13 for Uruguay. Trying his best to penetrate this Ecuadorian defense, but to no avail. Come out, build through the back. Cristian Sornosa. Brian Huaman-Quispe, the big switch to Luis Ortiz. Nice ball in. Cruz chooses to let it roll. He won't get another crack at it. But Uruguay will. Matos clips it over to Fernandez. Fernandez already on a yellow card. (0-0), 10 minutes down in this first half. You're watching Special Olympics Unified Cup 2018. This is the male final. First ever Special Olympics Unified Cup. In the female final earlier today, Slovakia with a 2-1 victory over Brazil. In that match, we saw a member of the Slovakian senior women's national team representing her country here at Special Olympics. Do play 30-minute halves, so just about a third of the way done with the opening stanza at Toyota Park. No messing around from the Ecuadorian back line. They clear out of bounds here. It'll be another corner kick for Uruguay. to the Uruguayan coach, and really an amazing effort for all of these players to be a part of this team. They started working in February. The team is based out of Montevideo, but a lot of the players have to come from, in some cases, as far as 6 hours away. So they meet once a week on Saturdays. They put in the work, and it has paid off so far here in this tournament. Ball deflected towards the goal line and saved. That was just a hair shy of being the opener for Uruguay off a corner kick. Instead, Ecuador pushing forward now. They'll be called for a foul, and a big, big play by the Ecuadorian defense. Let's see who it was that made the save.
Watch Uska coming up. Actually would have been an own goal had it not been for Ortiz sitting on that back post. Now watch if it goes over the line. It's a little bit tough to call from that angle, but when it bounces, it does not. But had Ortiz not come in from that back post and covered Uska, it would have been 1-0 Uruguay.
What are those 3 letters we heard so much of over the last couple months? VAR. Maybe the Uruguayans hoping for some VAR help there. They won't have it. But they might have a goal here. Streaking in on net. Another big save. Uska! Uska! What a stop! No time to breathe for Ecuador, despite the monster save from their goalie. Uruguay certainly the better of the chances so far through the first 13 minutes. Ball slipped in, offside, and Ecuador can maybe for a second, Kate, catch their breath.
It's been all Uruguay the past couple minutes. A nice little flick on, finding Barreto in the gap, able to get a half volley on it. The play of goose play, number 3 from Ecuador, did enough to distract. Barreto could not get on the end of it and convert it the way that he wanted to. Good defensive covering play. Sometimes even if you can't get to it, you're able to distract him enough.
Ecuador starting to string some passes together. There you see the Uruguayan coach. He's been involved with Special Olympics in Uruguay for 16 years. Hoping it pays off with a title here. He was in charge when a big chunk of this group won the Copa America Unified Cup back in 2016. 7 members of that team here in Chicago for this tournament. Long ball over the top from Ecuador to no avail. This Ecuadorian team scored 39 goals. I know I misspeak quite frequently, but I didn't right there. 39 goals in the group phase. Yet in their semifinal earlier this morning, they were shut out, only advancing on penalty kicks. And so far here today, the Uruguayan defense, which went the entirety of their group phase matches without allowing a single goal, has continued that strong play. 0-0, 15 minutes down. We are halfway through the first half here at Toyota Park. Ecuador's Luis Ortiz with a slick move. Nice ball through. Landazuri couldn't quite hold on. Uruguay with another chance down at the far end. The offside flag up yet again. Uruguay creating more and more opportunities. They continue to get in behind this Ecuadorian defense. Strong recovery play there from Brian Valdivieso.
Well, Brian Cruz coming up, trying to do a little thing. Just the momentum is too much, carries himself away, knows he can't get to it. But right now, Uruguay is hitting those penetrating passes to a back line that's not organized enough from Ecuador. And you're not hearing that verbal communication that we heard from the champions of the women's side, Slovakia. Anytime there was defensive breakdown, to let your fellow teammate know that someone was on your back shoulder and running into that space you're supposed to defend.
We mentioned the support that Uruguay has gotten from their government. It should be noted this Ecuadorian team was given a lifeline by Independiente del Valle, one of the bigger clubs in Ecuador. They go by Independiente. They loaned field times, practice facilities, so that this Ecuadorian side could train at a truly professional level. And as you see by the quality of their play, certainly paid off. Landazuri going 1-on-3, and that's a tough prospect when the three are Uruguayan defenders. Brian Cruz hacked down. Foul called against Ecuador. Uruguay quickly putting it in play. No secret about their style. They want to be direct and over the top, and it's already caused some problems. Collision on the far side, no whistle from the referee. Valdivieso changing the point of attack through Brian Aguas, the number 8. Strong left-sided player for Ecuador. Now back over to the right side of this Ecuadorian formation. Crunching tackle. As things heat up here at Toyota Park. Calm one-touch play from Ecuador through midfield. Hopeful ball into the box. Cedric Ceballos, the goalie for Uruguay, there to collect. We had Tim Shriver just a few moments ago on the broadcast, chairman of Special Olympics. Interesting to him talk about the future of the organization and unified sports and how we need more high schools with unified teams in the United States. Right now, 6% of schools, and growing in the US, have unified teams. That's across elementary, middle school, high school. I think the exact number somewhere around 4,500. Talking to some of the kids from the Kansas City and Missouri combined team yesterday. Chance here. Saved away by Ceballos. The players spoke very matter-of-factly about their unified team at school. I think, at least for me, Kate, that was a surprise. I'm not that old, and it wasn't that long ago. We didn't have anything like this.
No, it's a new thing, and it's something about playing together. But get back to that in a second. Look at that beautiful touch. Takes that one touch, see the defenders coming in fast and makes them. And Landazuri almost putting his team up for Ecuador.
We talked about all the firepower between these two teams, and we've certainly seen something from Usca down at the Ecuadorian end, but how about a shout for Cedric Ceballos? He's been a major, major part of this Uruguayan defensive effort, not just today so far, but really throughout the tournament. Again, no goals conceded by this team throughout the entirety of the group phase. Sergio Martinez, the captain for Uruguay. Leading from his central back position. Nothing fancy about this Uruguayan side. They like to get it up quickly. And they have the talent in the attacking third to create dangerous possibilities. Perhaps like the one forthcoming.
Sonorsa doesn't time this at all, a little bit late.
Little bit late. You must have been a defender. She says a little bit late.
You got to give, but you have to give credit to the state of the field.
Yeah, for sure.
So that tackle, yes, it was late, but it was even worse because the momentum of his body carried him further through the attacker. But this is a dangerous opportunity for Uruguay. They almost scored the first one. They had a very similar distance away from goal. It's important for Ecuador to stay with their man marks defensively.
Matos, the number 7, drives it into the box.